Okay, let's get into it. So we're looking at the black cards from Marvel now. Let's get into it with Agents of Hydra up first. 2 mana for a 1/1 human spy villain. When this creature dies, create a 2/1 black villain creature token with menace. That's very thematic because you knock off one head of the Hydra, 2 more pop up. So replacing 1 power with 2 power and giving it menace, effectively making it so they're like 2/1/1s, so to speak. So that's a pretty cool way to represent like the heads of a Hydra without it like actually being a Hydra. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Next up, Arnim Zola, Biofanatic, 2/3 artifact creature for 3 mana. Pay 3 and tap, create a tapped 2/1 black villain creature token with menace. Activate only if there are 2 or more creature cards in your graveyard. That's interesting. A little slow. Doesn't have any keywords or anything else that it's doing. I mean, not really good. I can see you playing this in like a deadlocked limited game where you need to generate a whole lot of extra bodies. This could definitely help you break a stalemate, but that's about the only implication I can think of for that. Next up, Baron Helmet Zemo. He is a 3 mana, 3/3. It's triple black, so this is like a mono black card. Legendary creature, human noble villain. Whenever you cast a black spell from your hand, Baron Helmet Zemo connives. That's awesome. I love connive. Boast. So boast happens when you attack. Exile any number of black cards from your graveyard with 15 or more black mana symbols among their mana costs. Copy those exiled cards. You may cast up to 3 of the copies without paying a mana cost. See, I like that. I really like that ability. It kind of reminds me of Hervek from Thunder Junction. The only thing with this is like you have to be really, really deep in black. You pretty much need to be mono black to pull this one off. And playing a lot of cards that are specifically like multiple black pips in their casting cost. So cards that only have like a single black in it, very splashable cards, aren't going to be cards you want to put into your deck. So Baron Helmet Zemo, very powerful ability, just very limited in scope. Okay. Baron Strucker, Hydra Overlord. I don't think there's something wrong with the Strucker. We got 2/2 for 3 mana. Villain spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. That's pretty awesome. Whenever another villain you control enters, you may have it connive. Do this only once each turn. That's pretty sweet. I like connive. Connive is a really good ability from says Streets of New Capenna. That was very good. So this guy makes your villains cheaper and makes them better when they come in. So pretty cool. All right, what's up next? Black Widow Super Spy. 2 mana for a 2/1 with menace. Whenever Black Widow deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may put a +1/+1 counter on Black Widow. If you don't, you may cast the exiled non-land card until end of turn, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. So I kind of want to think of this as like a fixed Tiny Bones, because like when you hit with Tiny Bones, you don't always get to actually cast the spell, and that like trigger is kind of wasted. With this, if you don't have the mana to cast the spell, you can still get a +1 counter on Black Widow. So I think this is actually a pretty solid card. I like that. And it's a 2/1 with menace for only 2 mana. Pretty nice. Construct a Cosmic Cube. 2 in a black, enchantment plan. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/1 black villain creature token with menace and put a plan counter on this enchantment. When the 7th plan counter is put on this enchantment, sacrifice it. When you do, you control target opponent during their next turn. So it's a Mindslaver. It's a Mindslaver that generates dudes. Okay, so let's think about this real quick. I both like and dislike this card. I like it because once it's out and you start drawing a bunch of extra cards, let's say, for example, you're playing like Dimir. If you're playing Dimir, that trigger will be very easy to pull off because you can draw cards on your turn, draw cards on your opponent's turn, and after about 7 or so turns, you can actually pull this off. But the thing is like, it's difficult to control when the seventh counter is going to go on it, because you're not always going to have like the most effective way to put counters on your cube. So you could potentially pop the cube during a turn where it's not exactly pivotal for you to be controlling your opponent. I mean, controlling your opponent is always good. I mean, Mindslaver is an amazing card, but Mindslaver gives you a much more control over when you control your opponent than this one does. So I like what it does. I like what it's trying to do. I don't think it's going to be good enough, though. I hope I'm wrong. All right, next up, Crossbones Malicious Mercenary. Okay, Crossbones Malicious Mercenary. Got it. 4 mana, 3/3, Death Touch. Whenever another villain you control enters, put a +++ counter on Crossbones. He deals 2 damage to each opponent. This ability triggers once each turn. Hey, that's pretty good. That's actually really good. So 4 mana, so 3/3, Death Touch, kills whatever he touches. Whenever you play anything else that has the villain tag on it, and there's a lot of villains in this set, he shocks the opponent and gets bigger. That's pretty solid. I think it may be possible to build a decent deck around that. Cruel Alliance, 3 mana, sorcery, teamwork 2. So when you cast this, tap creatures with power 2 or greater to get the teamwork. Exile target creature with mana value 3 or less. If the spell was cast using teamwork, instead exile target creature and you gain 3 life. Hey, that's really easy to pull off. You just tap like one of like the Hydra tokens or Black Widow or something like that and get rid of anything and gain life. Pretty decent. I don't think it'll see play though. I mean, it's a pretty cool card. Decent for limited, as usually in limited removal is at a premium. But in standard, there's just so many better ways to deal with creatures, especially in black. So probably going to skip on that one. Dark Deed, 1 in a black. Target creature gets a -4/-4 until end of turn. Ooh, that's pretty decent. But again, usually in black with removal, if you're paying 2 mana to kill a creature, it's usually unconditional kill, not -4/-4. Pretty decent though. It can kill a lot of things. See, Decoy Ploy. This is 1 and a black. Instant, choose one or both. Return target villain card from your graveyard to your hand, or return target hero card from your graveyard to your hand, or both. If you're playing villains and heroes, you can do both. That's pretty cool. Dr. Doom. All right, Doctor, what you got for me? We are 3/3 for 6 mana. That's a lot. When Dr. Doom enters, create 2 3/3 colorless robot villain artifact creature tokens named Doombot. Okay, so you're paying 6 mana for 9 total power and toughness across 3 cards. That's pretty decent. As long as you control an artifact creature or a plan, Dr. Doom has indestructible. Okay, that makes it even better. At the beginning of your end step, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Okay, that is actually pretty decent. So 6 mana, he comes in, he makes Doombots that come in with him. You can then utilize those Doombots as attackers, blockers, sacrifice fodder, whatever you want. But as long as you have them, or at least one of them, he's indestructible. And he is a literal Phyrexian Arena on a 3/3 body. That's not bad. I'm curious if 6 mana is like what people want to be paying for this kind of effect. I'm going to assume not. I mean, there's, again, like in black, in the stuff that we already have in standard, there's just better things to be doing with your mana. But it is a pretty cool card and very thematic. I like it. Okay, here we have Doom Reigns Supreme. 1 in a black, enchantment plan. Whenever a villain you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. Put a plan counter on this enchantment. Okay, that's pretty cool. When the 5th plan counter is put on this enchantment, sacrifice it. When you do, target opponent exiles the top 5 cards of their library. You may cast up to 2 spells from among the exiled cards without paying their mana costs. That is actually really good. So it's only 2 mana, so very minimal investment on this enchantment. And it does stuff when you are playing out your plan. Like you're obviously going to be on the villain plan with this kind of deck. When they come into play, you drain your opponent, and once you get to 5, you get to pop this and play 2 cards from your opponent. It's pretty solid. And at only 2 mana, I would definitely play this card for sure. Oh, we got some cards that still need load. There they are. Electra, Daughter of the Hand, 4 mana, 3/3, human ninja villain. It has a sneak cost of 1 and 2 black. So it's basically ninjutsu. When Electra enters, destroy target creature an opponent controls with power 3 or less. Hey, that's actually really good. That's actually really good. I mean, sure, she doesn't kill anything, but at the cost of only 3 mana, or 4 if you just straight up cast her, and on a 3/3 body, that's actually really good. I think I would actually play that. Okay. Grim Reaper, Lethal Legionnaire. 4 mana, 3/4, human villain. Whenever Grim Reaper attacks, you may pay 4. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking with a finality counter on it. Damn, that's actually really strong. So you only pay 4. So you basically, when he attacks, you can cast a free Zombify, and the creature comes in immediately and is already attacking. That is really strong. I like that a lot. Really good card. And it's uncommon, so it's pretty easy to get. Hour of Defeat is next. 4 mana. Destroy target creature, surveil 1. Garbage removal spell. Don't even worry about it. Hydra Infiltration. 4 mana, enchantment. When this enchantment enters, target opponent discards 2 cards. Okay, I already like it. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Okay, so the card's kind of garbage because it's 4 mana. I like that you can make someone discard cards when it comes in, but the other effect really isn't worth dumping the mana into. I think I'd rather just play something else that makes them discard cards. Hydra Troopers, 3 mana, 3/2. When this creature enters, create a tapped 2/1 black villain creature token with menace if there are 2 or more creature cards in your graveyard. Otherwise, mill 2 cards. That's pretty good. I mean, for 3 mana, for 3/2, if you've been like playing a sacrifice strategy or like maybe even a self-mill strategy to get some dudes in the yard, this guy comes in with a lot of power. It's a 5/4 worth of power for only 3 mana, and one of them has menace. That's pretty good. I like it. Kingpin's Enforcers. So we got some mafia boys here. 3 mana, 2/3 lifelink. To pay 2 a black, sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw a card. Garbage. Claw, Sonic Subjugator. 3 mana, 2/2, Sonic Attack. When Claw enters, target player reveals a number of cards from their hand equal to 1 plus the number of creature cards in your graveyard. You choose one of them. That player discards a card. Okay, so he comes in with a Coerce. That's all right. I do like that they're leaning into this creature cards in the graveyard matters kind of game plan, because I really enjoy like self mill and sacrifice strategies. So this is a mechanic that I can definitely get my teeth into. Okay. Next we have Madame Mask. 4 colorless, 1 black mana, 3/2. When Madame Mask enters, she connives. Right, awesome. You love the connive. Another thing, the connive mechanic plays directly into these graveyard matters synergies. Love it. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 2/1 black villain creature with token with menace. Okay, so she creates Hydras. That's really cool. I mean, it's really expensive, but it's a cool effect. The Masters of Evil. Okay. I gotta remind myself, this is comic book stuff. So a card titled The Masters of Evil, I guess. Okay, 6 mana, 5/6. Other villains you control get +2/+1. Okay, that's silly. +2/+1. That's funny. Pay a colorless and a black. Discard this card. Search your library for a plan card. Reveal it. Put it into your hand. Then shuffle. So it's a tutor for plans. Like that's going to be the most reasonable reason to play that. Good. Like Maybe late game, and that's an extreme maybe. You can cast it for its full cost. Or honestly, probably just discard this, go get a plan, and then reanimate it with Grim Reaper. I mean, that's a potential line. Modok, 3 colorless, double black, 2/2, flying lifelink, mental organism, pay 3 life. Modok connives, activate only during your turn. Okay, so you can pay 3 life to force a connive. I've seen worse things. Designed only for killing. Creatures your opponents control get -1/-. Ooh, it has an engineered plague on it. I love that. That would make this card playable. Like, I wouldn't even bother with the connive part. Like, if this first paragraph didn't exist on the card, I would still play it. A 2/2 flying lifelink that just shrinks your opponent's cards by 1 for as long as it's on the table is so strong. 5 mana is a lot to invest in this effect, though. Moonstone, Harsh Mistress, 4 mana, 2/4, flying. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. If you do, until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. Ooh, I like that. Discard cards and then just basically give all your stuff madness. That's pretty good. Ninja of the Hand, 3 mana, 2/2, Death Touch, power up, 4 and a black. Each opponent discards a card. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It's all right. I really don't like the power up mechanic. It's so mana intensive. I mean, I'm yet to see a single power up card that I would actually want to play. Right? Do you want to load? There we go. Project Deathlock Soldier. 1 black mana, artifact creature, zombie soldier, 1/2. Pay 2 and a black, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, so it's reassembling skeleton. That's all it is. Red Room Recruit. 1 and a black, 1/2. When this creature enters, it connives. Okay. It's decent. Not everything has to be super powerful. Robot Domination. 3 and a black, enchantment plan. Whenever 1 or more creature cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere, draw a card, lose a life, and put a plan counter on this enchantment. When the 3rd plan counter is put on this enchantment, sacrifice it and create 3 2/2 colorless robot villain artifact creature tokens. That's kind of cool. A bit on the weak side, but it's kind of cool. Ronin, Shadow Stalker. 3 mana, 3/3. Pay 2 life, add 2 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to cast equipment spells or activate equip abilities. Activate only once each turn. Tap, sacrifice an equipment attached to Ronin. Target creature gets -4/-4 till end of turn. Okay. That's pretty cool. I like having a creature that can just kill other creatures outright, but I don't like having to play into equipment to make it happen. Because like, equipment is always a losing strategy. I don't like equipment. Unless it's Skull Clamp. Then we can talk. Okay, Roxanne Brutes. What is this? Human Berserker Villain, 5 mana, 4/4, Menace. When you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and it has basic land cycling. Alright, that's pretty cool. It's a throwaway common. Stolen Stark Tech. 1 and a black, flash, equipment. When this equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. That creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Oh, okay. I like that because it's kind of a combat trick to give a creature indestructible. And has flash, so that's pretty cool. Super Scroll. Oh boy, here we go. 4/5, flying, legendary creature. 4 mana. 3 black pips though, so you can play this with Zemu. Flying. Pay 2 and a white, create a 0/4 colorless wall. Okay, so that's Sue Storm's ability. Pay 3 and a green, Super Scroll gets +4/+4 till end of turn. 4 and a red, deals 4 damage to target creature. Or 5 and a blue, target player draws 4 cards. Okay, so very cool card. Very cool flavor. If you notice, all of the abilities on here are abilities from other members of the Fantastic Four, and everyone has 4 in the ability. 0, 4, +4, +4, 4 damage, or draws 4 cards. That is just, that's peak flavor right there. Really cool. Okay, next up, Swordsman Sharp Scoundrel. 2 mana for a 2/2. Whenever another villain you control enters, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to target creature you control. Okay, that's a good ability. Too bad you have to play into villains for that, though. Whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, it connives. Okay, it's decent. It's a nice little role-playing card. Thunderbolt's Conspiracy. Okay, what's this? We got 4 mana, flash enchantment. Whenever a villain you control dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a finality counter on it. That creature is a hero in addition to other types. Oh, okay. So whenever a villain dies, it comes back as a hero. That's actually kind of good. For 4 mana, you played it flash, so you flash it when someone kills your stuff. The only thing is you have to be in a villain's plan. But let's say, for example, your opponent is about to play Day of Judgment or something. You can flash that in. All of your villains are going to die, sure, but they then come back as heroes. That doesn't really matter too much. What matters is you basically blanked your opponent's board wipe, and that's pretty cool. Okay, let's see what's next. Too Evil to Stay Dead. 3 mana, sorcery, teamwork 4. Choose target creature card in your graveyard with mana value 4 or less. If the spell was cast using teamwork, instead choose target creature card in your graveyard. Return the chosen card to the battlefield. Okay, this is really good, and I'll tell you why it is. It's because the Teamwork 4 allows you to print a reanimate spell that only costs 3 mana. This is really strong. So you play this in a deck that already has like other creatures that it wants to be playing. Like maybe you have like Llanowar Elves out, or you have the 2/4 elf that allows you to pitch a card to go get another card. Like you just get enough power onto the table, and you can just get any card back from your graveyard onto the table for only 3 mana. That is a really strong reanimation spell. I think we're going to see some decks trying to utilize that. Okay, Unliving Legionnaire is next. We have 3 and a black for a 3/2 flying vampire villain. Power up, 5 and double black, return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, put 2 plus encounters on this creature. Okay, way too expensive, never going to see play. Visions of Villainy, 3 mana, instant. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a villain. You draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. Oh, it's Sign in Blood, okay. You could just remove this first line of text and drop this mana cost by 1, and you have a Sign in Blood. Easy. Whiplash, Vengeful Engineer. So 1 black mana for a 2/2. Whiplash enters tapped. Whenever Whiplash attacks, if he's equipped, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of equipment attached to him. So load the boy up, and just go to town. That's pretty funny. I like that. Okay, next up is Widow's Bite. 1 and a black, instant, teamwork 3. Choose 1. If this spell was cast using teamwork, choose both. Target creature gains death touch until end of turn. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Hey, that's actually pretty decent. Like, the mana cost and teamwork 3, it's like, it can see some use, but like tapping out 3 power, you're kind of at like a tempo disadvantage with a card like this. Well, I could see doing it. Let's say like you're a blocker and you block with creatures, and then you tap the creature that you want to give death touch to after it's been chosen as a blocker to activate the teamwork. You can definitely do something there, but I don't know. It seems clunky to me. Yellow Jacket, Heartless Marauder. 1/2, flying. Oh, 2 mana. Whenever another villain you control enters, Yellow Jacket gets +1/+0 and lifelink until end of turn. No. I'd rather play something else. And then there's Baron Strucker again. Okay. Oh, and Moonstone. Okay, so yes, that's all of the black cards in today's list. So let's take a look here and see what we would actually want to invest in. What kind of singles would we buy from this color here? Let's see. Thunderbolt's Conspiracy could see some use. I do like Too Evil to Stay Dead. I would probably pick up a few copies of Too Evil to Stay Dead because that's a pretty cool effect. Let's see. Ronin's interesting, but you really have to play into the equipment strategy, which I do not like. MODOK is cool, but he's a little too expensive. Hour of Defeat's too expensive. Electra might see some play. She's actually pretty cool. Same thing with the Grim Reaper. I like Grim Reaper, but Grim Reaper needs to be on the table long enough to attack to actually use his ability. Decoy Plan is pretty cool. Doctor Doom is actually pretty cool. Construct a Cube has application. Black Widow Super Spy is probably one I would actually buy. Simply because it's a really good at that mana cost. Yeah. It looks like black kind of got the shaft in this set. It's like there's some things that are pretty cool and you can see a lot of commander play, but as far as like standards concerned, I think it's just Black Widow. It's like as sad as that is, it really feels like it's just Black Widow. I mean, like cards like Dark Deed, they're a better removal in standard. Doom Reign Supreme could see some applications. Electra's kind of cool. And she is a ninja, so that's pretty relevant. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really just Black Widow. That's it. Well, that is a little disappointing, but hey, not every set, and every color in every set it can be fantastic. So that's what we have for black today. So stay tuned because we're gonna be looking at the red cards next.